Welcome back to the NCUT movie review. Today we have The Crow, or as we like to call it, Boy Kills World 2.
Shelly! Please don't do this!
The basis of this plot is essentially the same as the first The Crow movie, where we have a boyfriend who watches his missus get murdered, and then he comes back from the dead seeking revenge. Now, Bill Skarsgård in this replaces Brandon Lee as the Crow, and this movie from the jump just doesn't have any of the sort of nuances or beauty that the original movie had. Probably why, ever since the first Crow came out, every single Crow that's come out since has done absolutely terribly at the box office and also with Rotten Tomatoes. And Bill Skarsgård's character and his missus, like I said at the beginning, get murdered, and then he goes to what is like the afterlife and is resurrected because his love for her is so strong, and then he comes back into the real living world to save her soul. Now, if the movie had started right in that moment, it probably would have flowed a lot better, but instead we had 25 minutes of what was meant to be Bill Skarsgård's and FKA Twigs' love story, which was just the most boring cinema you've ever watched.
You feel like my person.
You feel like my person.
Are you serious?
They were pretty much a crackhead couple for half of it. They were having like crackhead sex sessions with each other in FKA Twigs' hotel room as she's supposed to be on the run from someone who's supposedly killing her. They go to some sort of a co-ed prison where they escape and no one cares about it. I'm Donald Trumping right now. And that first 25 minutes sort of ended, you sort of thought to yourself, why didn't it just pick up right at the moment where Bill Skarsgård's character became the Crow, or even just before that where they're getting tortured and they get murdered? Because then you already know why he's coming back, because he's in love with her. We didn't need to be shown that they were in love. Like, you think that the devil guy, Bassem Youssef, in this...
Bassem, yeah.
like,
Shout out Bassem Youssef.
Yeah. Like, we already know that the basis of the movie is that he comes back because his love is so strong for her, and that's what brings him back from the dead to save her soul and get revenge on the guy who killed her. Now, why would you show us the whole first 20 minutes then? We already know they're in love. So, straight off the bat, the movie just doesn't start great. And it doesn't get much better after that.
It's literally the quickest relationship you've ever seen commence on screen. Within 20 minutes, they're supposed to be that deeply in love like they've known each other for 10 years. Just cut it all out. We didn't even need to watch it because the script for it was horrible. Watching them try to conversate about, I'm so in love with you because we're trauma bonding. I don't give a shit. Just show me her getting murked and then him coming in to revenge it.
Literally.
We already know. Move on. And then the movie just progresses worse and worse for after this. It starts to then depict the afterlife, the exact same as Madam Web does. I don't know why it's now like a precedent to be said that if you are dying into the afterlife, you have to go and drown and then meet Bassem Youssef in the afterlife. Why? I just don't get that inference at all. It didn't add anything to the storyline. Just in the first, like in the original one, it had none of that. We don't like. Why are you trying to make new grounds for something when everything else has failed? Like every other Crow reinstallment or reboot or whatever they tried to make, it didn't work. So why are you trying to include this one in there as well? I mean,
this one probably shouldn't have been made when you go off the fact that no other Crow movies, and I think there's been 4 or 5 of them, have done good except for that opening one. Now, did it do good because Brandon Lee died during its filming? I mean, it helped, of course. It's horrible that he died, but there's no such thing as bad press. So that would have helped the movie. But you think after the first 4 sequels, they would have been like, okay, you can't recapture the flame that came from the lead actor dying in the original one. Plus, the original one's good. So now every time Bill Skarsgård's character went to the afterlife and then was either reborn into the real life or continued to die, he would drop into the water. The Bassem Youssef-looking god character would push him and he would fall back into the water, and that would be like his reawakening from death. 10 times it happened, and it was slow motion every single time.
Come on. Ha, sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage on.
No, it's over. Let's go. Moronic idea.
But we get it. That's how he comes back to life. Stop showing it every single time. The first time, okay, it was kind of, that's interesting. The second time, all right. But the 5th, 6th time, it's like, stop dying, guy.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
What are you doing, bro?
This just seems to be a reoccurring theme throughout this whole film, especially at the very end where there's a specific scene. Bill Skarsgård walks up these set of stairs 9 times.
John Wick 4 all over again.
Is he walking up with Harry Potter in that never-ending staircase? Why am I watching this guy fight the same people over and over? They should be dead. They don't have his powers. Why? The stupidest scenes are just being added to these Crow films. What are the directors thinking at this point?
The director definitely had an affinity for stairs in this movie because there was, probably half of the movie is him either walking out of a building downstairs in the rain or walking up the stairs into the building in the rain. Or, as Josh said in that last scene, him walking up the stairs and fighting these people. I mean, at least my man got legs done for the he got his steps up for the week. Some of the shots that they made in this movie, it honestly looked like it was a Bill Skarsgård, Calvin Klein fragrance ad. You got the slow motion walk, the rain's falling over his back, and then 3-4 scenes later, let's just replay that and do the exact same scene of him walking in slow motion with the nice new Versace jacket on or whatever he was wearing. The original The Crow was gritty and felt sort of dark and grimy, whereas this one it's just okay, we're watching Bill Skarsgård on the catwalk right now.
In a Prada ad, yeah.
And
it's ridiculous.
In the middle of the movie, why? Why is he like that?
Average Joe's wins in a shocking upset.
I feel shocked.
Also, I actually thought it was Bill Skarsgård's audition for the Joker. He looked menacing. He had the laugh. He was trying to go for, I think, a bigger role throughout this film because he didn't act very well in this at all. It kind of the script work or the character, it kind of didn't suit him. And you think it would because he just did Boy Kills World, and that was almost identical. So it's weird how this didn't work, but that one did.
It's hard to really predict what Bill Skarsgård's going to be like in these movies at the moment because I think he's still finding his way a little bit. But in this movie, he just seemed a bit, I don't know, trying too hard to be this guy who's innocent and, I'm scared. It just came across really dumb. But that's probably comes down to the writing. I'm not too sure.
And I know we've been ragging on this film, this whole review, but we will mention some good things. And one thing it did do was the gore porn side of it. It was very good in the terms of the action, the killing and all the action choreography. And, the action scenes were kind of overpressed a little bit because the scenes didn't make sense. Why was he walking up staircases 8 times and to kill, the same people over and over? But that's the type of logic that I think you don't really care about. All you care about is how good the action is and that's what you want to see and that's what you're paying to see is that. And that was, that's probably the highlight was the action and the choreography for that.
Yeah, when he's walking up the stairs, it's the stairs to this opera house and he's out the front killing these guys, stabbing them, shooting them up and all that sort of shit. Not one person in the opera house heard any of the commotion outside. This guy's just had his own friggin' bloodbath out the front, killing hundreds of guards that just keep spawning out of nowhere, and then no one in the opera hears a thing. So every single person in that opera must have been deaf.
I was definitely entranced by that guy at the opera too. So the rating for this film, it's just not worth seeing it. It is just a mess. And this movie's not good. Don't go see it. We recommend to stay inside or wait for streaming if you really want to go see the extension of The Crow, but don't.
Yeah, same rating for me. I think if you're going to want to watch The Crow, watch the original one. Don't bother with this movie. It's a shame because Bill Skarsgård, he's a good actor. You want to give him a chance, but this movie just wasn't it. So
we love you, Bill.
No more sequels, people. Come on. Some original ideas, Hollywood. Let's go.
Please.
Question of the day. What is the worst sequel you've ever seen?
So if you guys like the review, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Peace, we out.
Let us know what the new setup's like. Peace.
And cut.